Welcome. You're right where you belong. Eugenia and I have been friends for 28 years, and while life phases and stages, racking up titles and all the etceteras in life keep us busy, we are intentional about keeping each other centered and committed, and to picking up right where we left off. After all, it's our life support.
Somewhere between taking care of everyone else, managing the day to day, and constantly being needed, you can start to feel disconnected from yourself and not even realize when it happened.
Right. And I think that's what makes this conversation so important because it's not always loud or obvious. It's subtle. You're just living your life, doing what needs to be done, showing up every day for your family. And then one day you get a moment to yourself and you're like, wait, what do I even like anymore? What do I do at this time? And it's not that you don't love being a mom. It's just that there's so many parts of you that have been sitting dormant for so long and put on a back burner for a while. So this isn't about going backwards or trying to find our old selves. It's about reconnecting with who we are now.
Before we really dive in, let's pause for a second and check in. When you think about you outside of being a mom, your interests, your likes, the things that make you feel like yourself, how clear does that feel right now to you, Alexis?
It is a pitch black room. I actually realized at the top of this year, after reflecting and going through things, that so much of Alexis has been shaved down to nothing or just completely shaved away. It's been really hyper focused on what needs to get done and what I need to be to my family and what I need to be to my business, what I need to be to, all of the different relationships. And because the plate has been full, it has just really caused me to, not pay attention to those things. And I have recently realized that has damaged me tremendously in the sense of it's really something that I need to focus on and I'm making efforts towards, because I really have to kind of get to the bottom of who Alexis is outside of service and what I do. So yeah, what about you?
For me, honestly, it's a little blurry right now. I think I know who I am, down to my core. But when it comes to certain interests that I have or things that I just enjoy, sometimes it just takes a second to even think of them. You know what I mean? Because most of my day is wrapped up in, mom stuff and handling responsibilities and things like that. So that version of me kind of feels a little pushed to the side, if that makes any sense. But I do feel like I'm in the process of getting back to myself. It's just going to be a new and improved version of me. You know what I mean? I'm still me, I'm still there, but I'm just not as front and center as maybe I used to be. So
Yeah, I totally get that. I feel like my hardwiring is the same, just like you said, down to the bottom. I know who I am, but it's the little things that I notice are just non-existent anymore, with that. So I feel you. And that's good that we're making progress and on the way back. And let's be honest, because I feel like for a lot of us, that answer might be lower than expected. Not because something is wrong with us, but because motherhood really does shift everything. Your time, your energy, your priorities, your life just doesn't move the same way anymore.
yes, motherhood changes your identity in ways people don't fully prepare you for. You expect your schedule to change, your sleep to change, your routine to change, but your sense of self, that hits differently, right? So you go from being your own person, moving at your own pace, making decisions for yourself, to being needed constantly. and not just needed, but responsible for everything.
Everything, literally everything, mentally, physically, emotionally. And the wild part is, it doesn't happen all at once, it's gradual. You stop doing certain things, you stop prioritizing yourself, you stop even thinking about what you want. And then one day you realize you've been in mom mode for so long, you don't really even know how to step out of it. I have definitely been experiencing those epiphanies frequently as of late. And it's just the kids will come up and they'll be like, oh, well, mom, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite, you know? And it used to be that I'd be like, oh, I like tacos. I like this. I like that. I'm like, I don't know. Like, I need to go out and, you know, try some new things and see what I like now. And just having that answer has given me an indicator that, like, I need to go back to the drawing board and really just get connected and get in tuned with Alexis, you know? So it's definitely those types of things. I have become very much just what needs to be done as opposed to just what, you know, what I want to be done. And it's just permeating everything. Where are you at?
Yeah. I definitely felt what you just said. I'm in the same place for the most part. Like, for me, I think the moment where I realized that maybe I was disconnected, maybe from myself in a sense, was when the kids were taken care of, everything was handled, and, I had a little free time. But instead of feeling excited, I was just kind of like, okay, what do I do now? You know what
Mm,
I mean?
yes.
So I couldn't even think of something that I wanted to do. And I think that's when it kind of hit me that, I don't have those go to things that I used to that I enjoyed. So
Mm,
I felt disconnected in a sense. Um, I just realized that I was staying focused on everything else that, I stopped checking in on me. And so now I'm in the process of just, trying to figure out what are those things that I enjoy now. So, like you said, same type of situation. What types of foods do I like? Like, what do I enjoy doing now in my spare time? Um, yeah, it's definitely changed from when before I had kids. The things that I used
yeah.
to enjoy, I don't really enjoy anymore. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's talk about mom mode because that's real. It's that constant state of being on, always thinking ahead, always planning, always anticipating needs before they even come up. And even when you technically get a break, your mind doesn't fully shut off.
No, it doesn't. You're still running through mental lists, still checking in, still thinking about what needs to happen next. So even when you're sitting down, even when it's quiet, you're not fully present as yourself. And I think that's where a lot of the disconnect comes from because you're never really getting a moment where it's just you being you.
Exactly. And then when that moment does come, it almost feels uncomfortable. Like you don't know how to exist in it. And that's such a weird feeling when you think about it.
Yes. And we have to talk about the guilt that comes with it too, because the moment you start wanting time for yourself or wanting to reconnect with who you are, there's a little voice that makes you question it. And you're like, shouldn't being a mom be enough? Why do I feel like I need something outside of that?
Yes. And that mindset will really have you suppressing parts of yourself. But the truth is, wanting to feel like you again does not take away from the love you have for your kids. Those two things can exist at the same time. You can be present, loving mom, and still want space to explore who you are outside of that role. So I remember when, there was a moment where I finally sat down to do something for me,
Yeah.
like really take the time, really take a minute and, the whole time I'm thinking, should I be doing something else? Shouldn't I be cleaning up something or organizing something or checking on the kids, doing something productive? And it low key kind of ruined that moment for me. I had to check myself and be like, taking time for me isn't taken away, from my family. And once I do take time for me, I can actually show up better for my family. I'm still working on it, of course, but now I try to remind myself that it's not selfish, more so it's necessary. So, you know, those times where I need, maybe 5 or 10 minutes to myself and the kids come up to me and they want me to go get them a snack or something to drink or help them with something, now I make sure that I'm a little stern sometimes in telling them, hey, mommy needs 5 minutes. Mommy needs 10 minutes to herself. So I will help you, after that 10 minutes, or I will get whatever you need after that time. So yeah, still a work in progress. What about you?
That's definitely my life. I realize because I do not have time for myself to connect with myself. And let me say this too. Everything that you said completely resonates with me. And I did have those thoughts previously of, should I be doing something productive? When I have those moments every 50,000 years to myself, and then I thought about it. And this is something that we all need to realize. Having time for yourself is productive. It's productive, and there is a benefit to that. Everyone around you benefits when you can reconnect with yourself, and everything that you're attached to, everything that you pour yourself into, when you're able to have that time for yourself, it makes all of that better. So it's definitely productive. But flashing forward, I have noticed that because I don't even remember what I like and things like that, I can become, because I have just really dove deep, into being available to everyone, that I can just become a little snapping turtle.
My Lord, a snapping turtle. Wow.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't leave me alone, my frustration happens a lot sooner than I would like, and while I might not always lash out, the overstimulation is just like out of this world. And I don't know if that's because, I've reached a certain age either. I don't know what the combination is, okay? But the combination plate is not plating, okay? And like, I was previously feeling really guilty, and I'm still working through that, because I think for me, what makes me feel guilty about it is I have set up such toxic behaviors with everyone around me and my family, just they're used to me saying, yeah, I can do it. Or, okay, yeah, I'll grab that. Or, oh, yeah, I'll drop that off. Da, 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 da. And now I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. So then I feel bad because I'm just like, this person is relying on me to do X, Y, and Z, even though it's not necessary for me to do X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense? And so it's like, I feel guilty for saying no, but unfortunately, those relationships are probably what, they are the ones that use you the most, but they also are the relationships that you can positively pour into the most when you are making sure to take that time for yourself. So I feel like that's where my guilt comes in, but I'm definitely working out of that hole, probably because I'm just at enough I've reached my fill, and my inner person is like screaming out, like, we need hobbies back. We need to dance in the kitchen while washing dishes. We need a little, twerkulation every now and again. You know what I'm saying? Things that, just get the blood flowing. So yeah, I deal with the guilt, but I'm trying to work out of it.
Yes, I feel you.
Yes. So what does it actually look like to reconnect with yourself? Because I think people assume it has to be something big or like a full reset or a major life change. And it really doesn't, although sometimes it does.
No, it's actually the small things. It's asking yourself simple questions again, like, what do I enjoy? What makes me feel good? What feels like me? And not overthinking it, just starting somewhere.
That could be how you dress, the music you listen to, something creative, or even just giving yourself quiet time where no one is asking anything from you. It's those small moments that start to bring you back to yourself. I know for me, I used to, like, once I dropped the kids off, you may still hear Bluey in the background, or it's either Bluey, Peppa Pig, or complete silence, right? And so now I've started being very intentional. And once, we have passed that threshold, kids are gone, all of those things, I take a moment to actually listen to music that I like and actually turn the music on. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it isn't. The genres are all over the place because I'm just creative, but I just take that time to have that moment. And while that's not something huge, it really helps my outlook as I'm going through highly stressful days. You?
Yes, girl, the same for me. Exactly the same. You know, I'll usually drop my kids off and I'll still be hearing, the Disney songs in the background, because that's what we listen to in the morning is, Disney songs.
Yeah.
So, So now, just like you, I turn that stuff off, baby, because I got to put on a little ratchet tune or something that I want to hear in that moment. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, I do that. I'll also, like, when I'm cooking, I might put my headphones on and listen to, a podcast or some music that I want to hear, might be a little, but it's something that I want to listen to.
Absolutely.
So I do that, and yeah, I also, because you already know that I love to sing. I used to love to sing. So now, girl, I will be singing all around the house. If something is, a song is in my head or something like that, I'll sing it loud. I might annoy the kids a little bit, but who cares about that? But I will sing out loud. So, I realize that I am doing, a few things that I love to do or that bring me a little joy in those little pockets of time that I do have. So, yeah, girl.
I love it. I love to hear it, and I love it for you. Yes.
I think it's important to say that you might not go back to who you were before kids, and that's okay, because we grow, we change, we go through things that shape us. So it's not really about getting your old self back. It's about discovering who you are now. Yes.
Exactly. Instead of asking, how do I get back to who I was? It becomes, who am I now becoming? And that shift right there can change how you look at this whole process.
So, who are you out of mom mode? That answer might take time, and that's okay. It's not something you have to figure out overnight.
That's right. It isn't about pressure or having everything together. It's just about giving yourself permission to explore that question, little by little, in a way that feels real for you. Because you're still in there, not as just a mom, but as a whole person.
If this hit home for you, Send it to another mom who might be quietly feeling the same way. Sometimes just knowing you're not alone changes everything. And make sure you stay connected with us. Subscribe to our channel, follow along on Instagram, TikTok, and you can even listen to our episodes on Spotify at the Life Support _. We'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
If this episode inspired you, we'd love to hear your biggest takeaway. Slide into our DMs on Instagram at the Life Support _.
If you haven't yet, make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a Power Hour pep talk. And leave a comment. It helps other mamas find us and transforms one mom's hustle into all of our community boosts.